Hello beautiful people, Carl here from Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it is album review time. Leading lights of British metal employed to serve are back with their giant new album Fallen Star at April 25th, 2025 via Spinefarm Records. Okay, let's get into it, because sounding more comfortable in their own skin than ever, Employed to Serve return with their biggest, sharpest and most accessible record to date, which might sound absurd when you hear the opening track, Treachery, an absolute manic and mutilating heavy beast. However, rest assured, being fast and heavy is just one part of Employed to Serve and the makeup of this album. Employed to Serve have big ideas here, having grown as a band over the years and having developed the skills to make them work. Each member has clearly improved. When you contrast it as well to some of their earlier stuff, you can really hear it. It's fascinatingly fun to enjoy. Though that's not to suggest they were slumming it before. I love a ton of what they've done up to this point. It's just that this album, to me personally, feels more complete. Following my face and yours being melted off with the aforementioned Treachery, the vocals are so brutal. The title track arrives with a stronger showcase of that accessibility I was talking about. Clean vocals and powerful melody with a very memorable message around burnout and kind of witnessing someone close to you pushing themselves too hard. It and the following Atonement are bright examples of the album's more refined melody and metal mix. Who else, right, could have got Will Ramos from Lorna Shore guesting, right? That's one thing. That's cool. But doing clean sing, that is very, very cool. But the fact that it, by and large, is still a heavy and aggressive metal banger with an abrasive edge is what really makes this track special. You've heard this one. It's been a single for a little while, so you should be very familiar with it, and it kicks all kinds of ass. However, the album's best track, in my opinion, comes next. It is Break Me Down, and its message hits home. Talking about grief and how there is simply no guide to it. It affects everyone differently, and everyone will experience it in some way. I'm going to open up here and be a little bit honest with you. My father is in a care home, slowly dying of dementia. And listen, I have made my peace with that. I'm not looking for sympathy. But it's like the grieving process is on hold. This has been something that's kind of played around in my mind and I've thought about a lot over the last couple of years. It is just a matter of time, but right now, and it has been for a while, it is like being in limbo. Does that make sense to you? I think it's one of those things that I actually find hard to describe and certainly talk about, particularly in the blasé way that I do. You might wonder about that, but as I said, I've made my peace with it. This review isn't for that. I just kind of want to explain why this track hits different for me and that it showcases the continuing evolution of the band so well makes it all the better. The keyboard melody is haunting, the clean singing is spine-tingling, the heaviness will rattle the brain, and the chorus is so powerful. Putting it simply, I love it. It's a tough track to follow, but happily Familiar Pain goes to savage route, hitting a metalcore-infused high with a catchy chorus and crushing bones with a big breakdown, before Brother, Stand Beside Me, love that title, delivers chunky riffing and inventive harmony. And Now Thy Kingdom Come delivers the personification of aggression, especially with its varied tempo. It's time, though, for some guests. And wow, what stellar guests they are. Alongside Will Ramos, of course, his earlier incredible efforts, we have the multifaceted talents of Svalbard's Serena Cherry, who adds so much to the punchy statement of a track, Last Laugh. I love this track as well. Another absolute belter with some rocking imagination, but unsurprisingly, considering who's on it, is the vocals of this one that stands out. Then there is the always impressive Jesse Leach of Killswitch Engage, who joins Employed to Serve on the rousing Whose Side Are You On? The freaking chorus slays. It's as simple as that. But that two-step inspired part at the end might be where it is at for me on this banger track. The sound of a band having found themselves and throwing their all into delivering the absolute best of themselves, proven to be mightily creative right up to the end as the Renegades, and from this day forward, both past the 5-minute mark. The former, following a cool guitar-focused intro, is an explosive display of energy, employed to serve filled with vitality and finding new heights of heaviness to scale while never sacrificing the catchier side of themselves. Here we have what is arguably the lightest chorus so far, but it is complemented by some raging rhythms and hardcore-inspired intensity, whereas the latter can be summed up simply as a track that goes very, very hard. Classic employed to serve, and a brilliant way for the album to wrap up. I love it. I really do. Employed to serve have bettered everything they've done before by focusing on what makes them so damn good. It is less about experimentation here, even though listen to this album a few times, there is notable moments, but it is more about refinement, which results in a record that feels complete. This will go down as their defining moment, for now at least, of course, and so many people are going to connect to it. I went in with high hopes, but I didn't necessarily think I'd come away loving as much as I do. I've always enjoyed Employed to Serve. There's stuff I've enjoyed more than others, and stuff that hasn't always worked for me. But I wouldn't say there's been an album where I'm just like, I love almost every minute of this. This is this album. I can't think of a moment where I was like, I'm not too sure about that, or I don't really like that. I was just constantly like, whoa, that's good. Whoa, that's good. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's really great. It was like that for me. I absolutely love it. I think you will too. It is Fallen Star by Employed to Serve. Out April 25th, 2025 by Spinefarm Records. Look, you got to check it out, but you're gonna. You know, I'm not here to tell you that. You're gonna. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.